Black helicopters, I'm here to report, black helicopters, can you believe it, were now gallivanting through the sky here locally. This is happening in Long Beach, and it's happening in LA County. And we can try to guesstimate why that is, but have a look at this. And this plays into a lot of the things I've studied here for quite some time. So I'm going to lower that, but yeah, there it is right there. So what you're seeing is the U.S. Army is now confirming they conducted nighttime raid exercises over Southern California. Many people are saying something big is coming, but if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that, well, I would be a very rich man. Well, in this case, while people are warning about the, quote, imminent major events that are about to take place here in the United States, what you're seeing currently, well, that's you're not imagining things. It shows U.S. Special Forces, the 160th SOAR Night Stalkers, as they go by, executing intense urban warfare drills over in Southern California this past week. Helicopters flying low with lights at night and some no lights whatsoever. Troops moving on the ground simulated fire and explosions throughout Long Beach, California, near the old Golden Sales Hotel, to be exact, as well as Pasadena, around the area of the old St. Luke Medical Center. Now, officially, it's planned training, as they're saying. But why in multiple cities at the same time, you might ask? Why such realistic urban combat scenarios with explosions in low-altitude nighttime flights? Great questions. And why did the notifications to residents arrive so late that they caused widespread panic and speculation? To many, they could be exercises, but to a lot of people and others, they don't look like the standard weekend exercises whatsoever. Isn't that something? I'll tell you. And those are some real deal headlines from around the world. Check, check. Are we back? Are we back on air? Are we back on air? God damn it. Check. Okay, I got cut out. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, we had a false start once again. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. I was just telling everybody what just took place. Oh, God. I'm so fed up doing this, I tell you. I've been cut out from Facebook. I just received a notification that I can no longer do live shows there. They have retroactively punished me, our Real Deal Media Tonight channel, claiming a violation occurred from a post that violates their policies from 2023. And the caveat is they won't tell me what post it is. So here I am trying to figure out what that happened as we went live here. So I do apologize. This is another rough start. It's good to know that people out there are here to give me a heads up here because I'm in the dark. They turn off my mic anytime you talk about Epstein or Israel around here. And I wish I was bullshitting you, but that's the truth. I was very sick last night. I could not make it. I relapsed. I had incredible pain. That gave me a 5-hour migraine. So I do apologize. Just know that I'm going through some major health things lately. And I still sound sick, don't I? I hate the way I sound when I'm sick. And there's nothing I can do. I'm not decongested. I'm going to sound, my father told me once, he said, look, we just have shitty breathing pathways in our family. So yeah, I still sound sick, but I'm on meds still. I'm in pain. I've had mouth infection from a very misbehaving tooth. I'm better now. I'm a lot better than I was yesterday, but I was in a lot of pain last night. Anyways, it's good to be here as I'm broadcasting live on Dean Ryan TV. Hope to God you can hear me. And why is this show, everything I do, why is this punished the most? Out of all the people out there, I really need to do a science project here. And by the way, if you're listening, watching on YouTube or anywhere else for that fact, I can't do it on Facebook anymore. I've been demonetized on virtually every platform, but I have to ask myself, why have I been punished the most? Why do the powers that be, out of all the people in these media ionospheres, why am I constantly targeted? Constantly targeted. I don't know anyone else who's under this measurement, this amount of pressure. Don't know. Excuse me, got to turn my phone off. So please stop texting. Yes. A lot of pressure doing this. Why? I have to ask myself why this is. How come so many people flourish, but not yours truly? It's just so disappointing. Anyhow, I'm getting better all the time. So thanks for everyone's patience. It's not easy. I've had some very, very dark days this past couple of hours, but really since last week. But I'm back now, and there's a lot of things. Excuse me. Tonight's episode: leaks, freaks, and political fatigue. Don't I know it? So sick of being sick. Felt like death's door. Grim Reaper was my doctor, but anyhow, there's a lot of leaks coming out of the White House, and I'm gonna try to share some of these now major, massive leaks coming out of the New York Times. Anytime there's a leak coming from the White House and that's being sent to the New York Times, it's usually coming from Donald Trump himself. That's absolutely right. It just always seems to be the way. Oh, God. You know, Benny Johnson has such an easy time. The guy just parrots anything coming out of the White House press corps. Guy has 6 million. Never gets stopped. I mean, that's such an operative. Such an operative. It's amazing to me. Anyways, let me tell you about this because this is a wild story now. As now it's inside the White House, freak out over the Epstein files. This is about to turn because now we're at a watershed moment where Trump, at least publicly, is breaking up with Israel. Yeah, so bad where the Pentagon has now had to label a threat, hostile nation of Israel, put them on the threat level of U.S. U.S. hacking, as Edward Snowden told us. Let me share this with you now. As now senior Trump advisors, his most senior advisors, have gathered now recently without him, as they're trying to figure out how to gain some measure of control over a very different kind of crisis, threatening to engulf the presidency, and that's called the Epstein files. That's right. It's coming back. See, when you break up with Israel, they say, okay, well, we got the files. Have a look. Well, just recently, the Justice Department and the FBI had jointly released a memo that bluntly stated the review had found no client list of powerful men for whom the notorious pedophile Jeffrey Epstein had allegedly procured, that he had allegedly procured underage girls and young women. Well, we've heard that before. There's nothing new there. Well, intended to put a rest of speculation and end the pressure of campaign to release the voluptuous, excuse me, that's the wrong word. the 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 extreme volume, let's just put it, of material in the department's possessions of the Epstein files, setting off a backlash that notably loud among the MAGA base and has really broken up the whole thing. So we get the backstory. That's the problem with mainstream articles. They're for children. They're for children, you know. And I see a lot of children who are much older than me, who believe in fantasies, Dungeons and Dragons, and Plato's caves, fabled enemies. Well, the Wall Street Journal was now preparing a damaging article recently with Trump's relationship with Epstein. The president's desperate attempt to kill the story had failed. His team now has to get everyone on the same page about how to counter the growing swarm of attention. They needed a gesture of transparency to appease an increasingly angry base, but also a way to convey the message that the president was sympathetic to his supporters' concerns, which itself was a problem. Big time. Well, recently, J.D. Vance is now taking a big seat at the head of the table in the JFK conference room. It's now said to be, he said during this leak, it's now coming out that, quote, this is a huge problem. He told the group. They responded by saying, no shit. Arrayed around him were the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles Coyote, the White House counsel, David Warrington, the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, the deputy chief of staff, Taylor Budowich, the communications director, Stephen Chang, and the deputy attorney general, Todd Blanchet, as well as Associate General Stanley Woodward Jr. and some other notables. Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kesh Patel joined by speakerphone. So this is at the pinnacle of everything. It's all coming out now. And pay attention to all the little details. You're going to see certain names come out here and say, well, we wanted it out, but we were getting blocked. Everybody is trying to save themselves right now as the rats begin to stir the ship. Now they're saying the vice president, JD, appeared panicked to others in the room about the way The subject of Epstein was already dividing MAGA and the entire coalition as they knew it. Some senior officials had the impression that Vance had bought into the darkest theories about Epstein and a cabal of predators hidden within the country's ruling class. That's not a far stretch of imagination, is it? No, it's not. It's not. Continuing. Well, he floated to colleagues. He floated the idea that the White House enlist Tucker Carlson to interview Epstein's long-term girlfriend and co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, while she's in prison. It might help the president if Maxwell was willing to state that Trump had not been part of any wrongdoing in Epstein. Well, clearly that didn't happen. Vance told the group he believed that all the files should be released as soon as possible. He argued that Congress was going to force the release of the files eventually. It was already clear that a bipartisan coalition in favor of such an action was forming in Capitol Hill, and the momentum was going in one direction. If the administration got out ahead of this and released everything voluntarily, including whatever materials existed about the president, it would at least get credit for transparency. Yeah, that's what was promised. Now, the alternative was to let the story drag for months as information dripped out, each new revelation renewing the cycle of suspicion and fury. Better to rip the bandage off and move on. That was J.D. Vance's entire mantra. Even the unsubstantiated allegations and anecdotes about Trump should go out. J.D. Vance was arguing at the top of his lungs. They were going to surface regardless, and the administration published them first. It would demonstrate good faith and take the oxygen out of the conspiracy theory hallway. His arguments fell on skeptical ears, and some advisors thought it would be a good idea to have the DOJ officials call a news conference to explain their position on the Epstein affair, go beyond the memo that precipitated the crises they wanted. This is just incredible. Now, you might have noticed a change happened as soon as Pam Bondi stepped down. Now, the president's former defense attorney, Todd Blanchard, had what they're now saying, a unique vantage point in the discussion. He was better equipped than anyone else in the room to weigh the ideas being discussed against Trump's personal and political interests. Blanchard laid out what he saw as their best options. Yes, he did. Option one was to petition the federal district courts in Florida and New York to unseal the grand jury testimonies, all of the secret transcripts of prosecutors' presentations of witnesses and evidence in their efforts to obtain indictments from Epstein-related cases in the past. Yes, that's true as well. Under the federal rules of criminal procedure, secrecy of grand jury materials is regarded by most federal judges as almost always an inviolate of an opportunity. The bar is exceptionally high, the bar is, if the courts refuse to unseal them. Option two was to have the Justice Department lawyers question Maxwell and publicly release the transcript. That's what they also wanted. Now, none of them seem to come to fray. The consensus was that calling for the release of the grand jury material was the best course of action. Wall told the group that she would discuss the matter with Trump if he would like to send the True Social post calling for the release of the sealed grand jury testimonies, which never happened. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. So this was the panic. This was the talk in the Trump White House. Months ago, and it's the talk happening right now. And people are afraid to even confront Trump and give him a dose of reality because he's far gone. Many reports are telling me, and many people are freaking out as the leaks begin. It goes on and on. How do you come out of this? How do you turn this around? Is he now just figuring out that he got played? So a lot of people are saying the next head to roll is going to be Kash Patel and or Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth. Listen to this here. This even gets better. This goes into Kash Patel here of what we're now finding out. Listen to this. Patel, a national security director for counterterrorism and Defense Department chief of staff in the first Trump administration, had repeatedly claimed in podcast interviews that the government was hiding Epstein's black book or client list. And he had frequently asserted that the FBI was deliberately withholding names to protect the powerful. Patel promised that a second Trump administration would release it to restore public trust. You may recall when he went on the Dan Bonbingo show, as he used to be a Secret Service agent and lent his authority to it all. You may recall he used to ask, what the hell are they hiding in the Jeffrey Epstein files? He said, don't let this story go. That all changed. And by the way, yes, we will never forget. To wrap it up here, where this all goes from here, because they're violating the law, the Transparency Act, the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They're violating every day. They don't release it. I believe we're going to see the 25th Amendment be played out. I think they're beginning to leak the necessary information about how cognitively far gone Donald Trump is, whether he's legitimately far gone or he's playing the role of someone who is to get out of war crimes. I can make a good case for each scenario. Nonetheless, we're about to embark on the rest of we're steering away Israel as people. I just got disconnected. Hold on, everybody. They're playing with me. Anyways, let's continue on, shall we? Hopefully you can hear me. All right, moving on here. Like I was saying, we're about to embark on the rest of the files, and they're setting the stage because Trump is going to wash his hands of the Iran war. He's going to put it on JD. He's going to put it on Pete Hegseth, and he's going to put it on Netanyahu. And I think Netanyahu is going to be the sacrificial lamb that Israel is going to use to get out of the world of hurt that they're about to really feel and experience at the blistering hand of Iran. And they're going to put their new puppet in. So you're going to see this in droves. And what we're going to find in the Epstein Files Part 2, I think you're going to find some very uncomfortable relationships between Donald Trump and others. I think that's going to be at the forefront, if I had to guess. Okay. Anyways, I got to take this quick break. Once again, we have people are jamming my signal or turning off my headphones off and on. We're going to take this quick break here at Late Night Thoughts with Dean Ryan. I'll be back after this quick break and have some more stories to tell you. And even a Canadian story, if you can believe it. Don't go anywhere. Stand by.
Dick Morris, your thoughts tonight?
Well, I think Trump is going to score a huge victory. I think the media is going to try to downplay it because, as you correctly said, they're basically supporting Ron.
Oh, shit.
Ron, they're basically supporting Nikki Haley. So they're going to downplay it.
Geopolitics. Let's talk about it because we got issues, we got problems, but guess what? We have solutions too. We'll get this now. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. And I say that with great pride because it's certainly the circle that Donald Trump seems to be keeping lately. And this one takes the cake for the Bizarro, Award of the Year. But let me tell you about it first with great pride. Well, a stunning hidden cam video has now caught the Faith Office group speaking in very unusual tongues, as it's being described over there on the White House grounds, in the run-up and lead-up to what we believe is now the troop movement as we now enter World War III. Well, in a video that has now gone viral and is leaked everywhere, just ruthlessly, it shows a office that I didn't even know exists, but it's called the Trump Faith Office. And it's hard to explain, and I'd rather you just see it for, see it for yourself, because this is one for the record books right here.
We just thank you right now, Lord, from the east, the west, the north, and the south. You will shake America with your power and your glory. We cancel every assignment of the enemy. This nation was birthed to be one nation under God, and we are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word. Every place that our foot will trod, you will give it to us, and we are taking the land.
Well, Shamalama Ding Dong is definitely one of the verses I don't recall from the Bible, but that's definitely what we heard there. And this is what's sending our boys off to fight in wars. Right, Jim? Don't you think so? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's now move on here.
I wanna know that's right, the right is on hand, but what's wrong? I wanna show that girl, where's it twice as long? I'm stepping out of this old brown shoe, because, baby, I'm in love with everyone. I'm so glad you came there, won't be the same, 'cause I'm telling you. No can do, I can't go for that. No can do, I can't go for that. No can do, I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. I can't go for that.
Okay, we are back. We are back. Let's pray to God. You can hear me. I'm constantly screwed with daily. Welcome back, everybody. It's still Dean Ryan here. Here on Late Night Thoughts, cruising with you, recovering from some of the most incredible levels of illness I've ever had. Simultaneously, I just want a new body. Is that so much? I want a new body. I want a new life. I'm tired of being sick. I want to just start over. I want a new identity. I think that's part of the political fatigue, which is a third of tonight's title. Political fatigue. You know, I think it's at the point people just don't care anymore. Oh, we're out of war. Yay. We'll be in another war soon. Oh, the Democrats take over. Wonderful. And then they do the same thing. I mean, I think people are so just over it all. And I must say, and we can all recall those times, the politically charged DNA in all of us, everybody had something to post. Remember that? You knew who your friends and enemies were right away based on their Facebook post. Now, I couldn't be bothered to post any. I don't know what to post. Therefore, why post anything? And they want you to post things. The establishment, because they want to punish you retroactively when all these new laws come in, and that's exactly what's happening here to me. If you're just joining us, Facebook is punishing Real Deal Media, all pages on that platform there. Retroactive punishment from 2023 for a post I'm not allowed to know about. I couldn't tell you what it is. They're not sure what it is, but the algorithms, they sure got me. Thank you, Palantir. And you're really seeing the last true Iron Dome of Israel is the American media and social media that goes with it. That's the true Iron Dome. It is. Because the one in place certainly doesn't work. The one that costs billions of dollars. Isn't that the case? Okay, we are broadcasting on YouTube, DRN TV still, and X as well for now, as well as Rumble. Make sure you're still subscribed. They put a major blockade on our YouTube channel. They unsub 25 people a month. Make sure you're still signed up to there. I'm dedicated and hell-bent to getting to 7,000. Whoopee. Every time I've been there for the past 5 years, they knock me back down. And they have it down on YouTube where they pinpoint your voice. So if I were to get a new channel there, they would find me and start censoring me there as well. That's what happens around here. I'm the bad kid on the block. Don't want to take me home to the parents, do you? Anyway, so I'm a politically fatigued myself. I'm a political atheist. I think a lot of people are. Some people have been for a long time. They're saying, well, about time. I told you. Yes. Yes, the I told you so category is one of the most booming demographics in the United States. Very true. I told you so much that I can't even remember what I told you, but whatever I did at the time, it was right. So we're all there, and we're trying to get out of here. But so we went over what's the leaks in the White House. There's nothing new there. Nothing more to learn. But here's some other things here. I want to leave on a high note, which is not very hard when a low note you begin with. Listen to this story. This is kind of eye-opening and very inspiring. Coming out of Canada. And Canada now has opened the door for miracle jab injured citizens to testify as global accountability debate is now growing. Oh, yeah. It's coming out of Natural News. Well, Canadian MP Dean Allison, no relation, launches a citizen-led inquiry into miracle jab injuries, urging transparency and recognition of adverse effects. That's right. UK and Canadian compensation schemes face criticism of high rejection rates and inadequate support for the miracle jab injured individuals. Oh, really? Not only that, the global reevaluation of the pandemic policies reveals data withholding and corporate influence and regulatory decisions. So pretty much everything we were just spouting from the rooftops in 2020, especially right here at this network, it's become mainstream now. We were fringe before, but now we're mainstream, isn't it? Interesting. Well, advocates demand systematic changes, including expanded compensation and honest risk communication for medical professionals. No. That's not just where the demand ends. No, we demand arrest. We demand justice. What we've been through the last 6 years, that's not just a systematic error or flaw. No, that was straight up genocide on us all, universally speaking, domestic to internationally. We know what the score is. So they're trying to rewrite history already. Now, this inquiry happening in Canada aims to address the gaps in documenting harm with outcomes potentially reshaping post-pandemic miracle jab safety standards. Now, they're saying now when Canadians began reporting severe adverse effects from the COVID-19 84 miracle jabs, many felt their voices were drowned out by official narratives. Now, Conservative MP Dean Allison, no relation, is challenging the silence with a citizen-led inquiry into miracle jab injuries, offering a chance for affected individuals to share their stories. The initiative seeks to address a growing demand for accountability in public policies that many argue prioritize speed over safety. It's always the case. Now, as this is happening, this is what I love here. A call for compassion. A call for compassion. Dean Allison, who's been a vocal critic of the pandemic mandates, framed the inquiry as a moral imperative. Canadians deserve transparency, accountability, and above all, they deserve to know their experiences matter. No, we deserve to know that the people that purposely poisoned and killed grandma and grandpa, we need to know that their heads are bouncing like basketballs on the hardwood floor. That's what we need to know. We don't need to know that the Canadian government's going to be compassionate and just give us a big hug and, try to take us to the euthanasia cafeteria. No, we don't need to know that. That's not good enough. Because the rage that's in this DNA right here, it's the maniacism that's going to go worldwide. Yeah. Then I'm going to climb to the top ropes and do a flying elbow right on these people like Fauci. That's right. So now I didn't know about this. National Citizens Inquiries found that the miracle jab mandates violated human rights laws and caused significant harm. Yeah, that's true. So they're saying, yes, it's a systematic failure in compensation gaps, blah, 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 challenge in documenting harm. We know what the score is, but these people, they'll give the taxpayer money back a little bit and pay people off, but that's not good enough. It's not good enough for people like me. Because, I don't know, when you lose somebody, look at all the people we've lost in the past 5 years since these damn things rolled out. And I remember December of 2020, I went live on air the day before I discovered the rollout was going to happen. And I begged people, I said, please call somebody you know. We can save lives tonight. I even gave you the PDFs of the rollouts, how they were going to start in the indigenous towns, give it to the indigenous people. Like in Australia, they gave it to the Aborigines first. In Alaska, it was the Eskimo tribes. Same in Canada, same everywhere else. I think in England, the indigenous people are the white people now. They're treated that way, but we all knew it. And you know what saddens me about that is when I thought that I had saved my, my aunt at that time. I thought she listened to me. And up until about 2 years ago, I realized, oh no, she got it. So she can't remember. And the reason she can't remember that she got it, because it accelerates and gives you pretty much Alzheimer's. All of these shots do. So it's a crime. We know people that got the Bell's palsy. We know people that had dietary controlled diabetes became they had to get type 1. They became type 1 diabetics as this thing took effect. And a lot of people are dead now. A lot of people are dead. So much so, they don't even tell you how people die anymore. They just tell you how old they were. You know, yeah, Dean Ryan dies tomorrow. They say, oh, Dean Ryan dies. 35-year-old. He had a great life. Can't tell you why he died. Amazing how that is. So that's what Canada's doing. They're opening the door for the miracle jab injured to testify as global accountability debate grows. Well, yeah. What is slow growth of a debate? Slow growth. All right. So here's a final story. I have troubles out there sleeping. Especially I've been in a lot of pain. I'm not in pain now, thank God. But there's usually a lot on my mind. And I'm looking for some solutions out here. And I think I found 7 herbal solutions. This is coming from Natural News, and maybe this could help you out there. You know, I say these things, and these things are medicines. We talked about the wonders, the magic of sauerkraut, of cabbage, or if you like, kimchi is another one. We found out about the miracles of that and how it cleans the gut, which gives you a longer and healthier life. Well, it's hard to sleep when you're just so excited about cleaning your gut. We have to restore the nervous system function. I was reading this, I came across this on Natural News, but I feel like I should tell you about it because these are the things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be proactive on my health because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, they're now saying, this is coming out of Natural News as we wrap up this incredible late night, that the multi-billion-dollar sleep aid industry has convinced millions of Americans that synthetic melatonin and prescription sedatives are only a path to restful sleep. But a growing body research tells a different story, one that ancient healers have known for centuries. And we're talking about the natural herbs, including valerian, chamomile, passion flower, ashwagandha, which I thought was an aphrodisiac, but lemon balm, lavender, and skull cap. Powerful sedatives properties that can restore your nervous system without addictive side effects and long-term health consequences of pharmaceutical inventions. These botanical remedies work by targeting the brain's GABA pathways, the same calming mechanism that prescription sleep aids exploit, but without dangerous dependencies, tolerance buildup, and disruption of normal sleep patterns. So here's the gist of it all. Here's the skinny. So we told you some of the remedies, but try this at home. Try this at home if you're like me. You got a restless mind and a very resting face that goes with it. Well, here it is. Some of the herbs are the valerian, Valerian, which strengthens the heartbeat, requires consistent use over 2 weeks for optimal sleep benefits. That's one of them. The other one, lavender aromatherapy, increases slow wave sleep, the deepest restorative stage. Ashwagandha lowers the cortisol levels to address stress-related insomnia at its source. Lemon balm shows particular effectiveness for adults over 50 struggling with sleep quality. These herbs present a safer alternative to prescription medications known for addiction potential. Basically, these therapies, these simple herbs can improve your life, release your true self, like lavender, and give you a full night's rest, which gives you a longer, healthy life. Well, thank you very much. That's exactly what we need. On that note, I need to get healthier. I feel healthier after reading that, actually. I will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be Real Deal Media Live. I look to have Jim Fetzer joining me and some others. That shall be Thursday night, and getting back to the old tourniquet. Yes, we will. We have a special coming up here in a couple of weeks. I believe we're going to be doing 80s week coming up, and we have 90s week. I think we're going to be doing 90s week first. We have some specials coming up in June, and the closer we get to the 250th anniversary, we're going to be doing something special With that, with all of you, we have our summer collection that's still being printed and developed. Can't wait for that. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight on Late Night Thoughts. Thank you for putting up with me and all of our disruptions as people are trying to prevent this broadcast constantly from coming out. And I'm still scratching my head why. It's a very good question, isn't it? Anyways, on that note, I will see you all tomorrow. Until next time, always remember to stay tuned and stay awake. Good night, everybody.